Welcome to AI News. Now, I saw a really interesting article from the BBC. Let's look at this. So, Alex Christian writes Chat GPT, how generative AI could change hiring as we know it. Now, let's read. Candidates are already using tools such as ChatGPT to write cover letters and CVs, but it's just a small piece of how AI is transforming hiring processes. So, since November 2022, AI chatbot ChatGPT has enabled anyone with internet access to generate anything in the written form. Think intricate essays and code, succinct memos or poetry. Even with basic prompts, ChatGPT can complete complex written tasks in moments and work as a creative tool to quickly produce efficient content. Right, we know that. We got it. We know what it is. Let's see what they've got to say. I've had students use ChatGPT to write appeals for parking tickets, says Vince Miller, reader in sociology and cultural studies at the University of Kent, UK. Is that a job? Just being a reader? That's okay. But in general, the technology allows people who may not necessarily possess the best writing skills to suddenly have them. Yeah, that's it. I'm not a brilliant writer. Like, video is my thing. Pretty good at video. I mean, I've written 4 books. None of them are particularly good. So it's kind of leveling the playing field, which is fantastic for someone like me. But I mean, if you're the sort of person that's spent your entire career, honing your writing skills, you're probably going to be quite annoyed about this. Sorry, not sorry. Job seekers are among those reporting such benefits, leveraging a data set containing 570 billion individual words. I didn't know there was that many words that exist. I'm guessing this is across like every language, but that's a lot of individual words. Let's get back into it. OpenAI's ChatGPT can compose convincing cover letters on demand or synthesize a few career details into a competent, bullet-pointed CV. Want to send an email to a hiring manager? Prompt the chatbot, then copy and paste the AI-generated text straight into the message. But hiring managers aren't oblivious. They understand candidates are already leaning on generative AI to assist them, may well do so even more as the technology grows in sophistication. This could create a shift in job applications as we know them, moving recruiters away from the traditional models of evaluating candidates. I think it's like Pandora's box. It's already out there now. People are going to be using it, and it's almost like if you're not using it, are you going to be left behind? I imagine there's going to be some sort of AI that the recruiters are going to use to look through the cover letters and pick out the ones that they will take forward. So it's kind of just going to make the cover letter obsolete. It's kind of going to make it pointless, because if everybody can go on just generate a brilliant one immediately, then no particular one is going to stand out. And then if it does stand out, you're going to assume it's some sort of AI anyway. So it's kind of ruined it for everyone. So not all recruiters report the use of generative AI as a hiring red flag or even a worrying development at all. I mean, maybe some of them like it. I imagine if you're looking at this and think, someone's used AI for this, they are good at using tools to be more efficient. Let's continue. Adam Nicol, Group Marketing Director at recruitment and job consulting firm Randstad, based in Luton, UK, says time-poor hiring managers may be unlikely to distinguish between a cover letter written by a candidate and one generated by AI. The language generated by ChatGPT reads clean, if formulaic, compared to most cover letter writing. There is no idiosyncrasies. There are no red flags, but no personality, he says. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe people are going to be using this to generate, the content, but then add their own personality into it, because that is the thing. Currently, there is no personality necessarily. That you could have 10 people generate 10 cover letters. You could read them, and it would be very difficult, unless you knew their job history, I guess, to pair them up with each person after talking to them. You wouldn't get a sense of who that person was. Right. Despite this, he says he wouldn't necessarily consider this cheating the hiring process. It's helping those who aren't the best at writing and editing in producing a neat summary of career highlights. It's the digitised version of asking a friend to review your CV. Yeah, that's fair. Nicol says that recruiters have already been relying less on traditional models of evaluating candidates anyway. The cover letter has been on its way out for years. Hiring managers skim read a resume for less than 10 seconds. I think that's everything you need to know. If you're only going to look at a cover letter or a resume for 10 seconds, yet expect a candidate to spend hours upon hours crafting a bespoke, it's broken. It's a broken process. It's not needed anymore. If that's the case, let's get back into it. Let alone read a 200-word personal statement. At best, the cover letter is a box-ticking exercise that accompanies the CV. It's virtually obsolete. I agree. Is this the death of the cover letter? Quite possibly. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think cover letters are dead? Now, instead, Nicol says recruiters increasingly prefer viewing a candidate's social media and LinkedIn profile to understand their personality instead. Of course, unless they're using AI to create all of their LinkedIn content. Anyway, and as more candidates use generative AI to compose their written materials, he adds, the importance of these application elements is becoming even more irrelevant. If anyone can artificially enhance their pitching email to a hiring manager, then it becomes redundant, says University of Kent's Miller. Experts say standard hiring processes may change as a result. I'm not an expert, and I'm saying that as well. I think there is going to be a completely new way of doing this. I don't necessarily know what it's going to look like, but it's got to change. It has to. For instance, since generative AI can create pre-interview presentations, employers may introduce harder assessments in response. The onus is to test and evaluate what the machines can't do, says Miller. While generative AI can arrange data in an interesting way, it's not particularly creative. It can only work with what already exists. So that could mean assessments demanding more creative and abstract thought from the candidate. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe everything's going to shift and creativity is going to be the single most important factor in hiring, which is great for someone like me, I guess. But additionally, there could be a greater emphasis on scrutinising candidates in face-to-face settings. I think that's probably going to be the way it's going to go. We're going to have to rely less on the virtual world, which is, it's weird. It's a technological advancement that's going to result in less technology used. Brooke Weddell, a partner at consulting firm McKinsey & Company based in Washington, D.C., said that. She also said, as opposed to cover letters, which typically convey little information critical to the actual hiring decision, employers look hard at cultural fit and soft skills during the interview process. Furthermore, some recruiters are already embracing new AI tools on their side of the job hiring process. For instance, some large corporations are leveraging AI in the recruitment process to test job seekers' quality through skill and personality assessments, which use data-driven behavioural insights to match candidates against vacancies and reveal their soft skills. The issue with that is like we're saying, AI cannot create stuff with personality in it, yet it can evaluate personality. I think there's maybe a little bit of a disconnect there. Let's finish up. These kinds of emerging platforms that give recruiters more data on candidates stand to change the job application process too, especially as we move from degree certifications to skills-based hiring, says Weddell. And this may just be the beginning of big changes to come. Well, look, I agree with that. I think it's probably going to be a massive shift in the way that candidates are found and evaluated. I think AI is going to play a massive role in this. It's going to play a massive role of the downfall of the current process, but probably a massive role in the rebuild of whatever the new process is going to be. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are cover letters dead, and is AI going to change the game?